Welcome to Coffee with Cable, your weekly cup of motivation. I'm your host, Troy Cable. Are you ready to pull the trigger on your life and start making things happen? Well, grab a cup of joe and stay tuned, because it all starts right now. I like to start by telling you a story about a mountain man. This mountain man has had a passion for hunting from a very young age and is very experienced at his craft, being able to put food on the table. However, it hasn't always been this way. His very first hunt with his dad would lay the groundwork for every hunt for the rest of his life. This young man's first hunt is very special, very exciting, and a lot of hard work goes into it. From the days of scouting to the days of hiking. Then also getting his first gun and learning how to use it. Making sure his aim was accurate, learning breathing patterns, taught by his dad of when to pull that trigger at the right exact moment. The day came and the excitement of the hunt was upon the young man and his father, and they couldn't be more ready. Sure enough, the sun rose in the valley with 21 head of elk grazing just 150 yards out. With the elk totally unaware of their presence, the father says, "All right, son, here's your shot. Go ahead and pull that trigger, and let's bring home some meat." With so much excitement, the boy raises the gun up to his shoulder, holding it in tight. As he lines up his crosshairs, ready to pull that trigger, his adrenaline starts to take over, his heart beating out of his chest from all the excitement. He's no longer able to hold his gun steady and turn, affecting his shot. His father whispers in his ear, "Son, remember your breathing and technique. You have plenty of time." With the fear of missing the shot, the boy brings the gun up to his shoulder, once again trying to control his breathing. Looking down his sights, with the elk in his crosshairs, still a little shaky, turns to his dad and says, "Dad, I can't pull the trigger. I'm way too shaky. I'm going to miss the shot." Knowing the opportunity will soon pass, the father says, "All right, son," and takes the gun from him and pulls the trigger. Not once, but twice on that old bull, bringing him down. Later, as the boy and the father were skinning out the elk, the boy realized and asked his father, "Dad, you pulled the trigger twice to bring this bull down, but I only see one bullet hole." "That's right, son. There's only one bullet hole. That's because the first pull of the trigger I missed. So I realigned my sights, controlling my breathing, and once again pulled the trigger the second time, surely making contact." Smiling at his son, saying, "Let that be a lesson to you. If you don't pull the trigger the first time, regardless if you miss or not, the opportunity to pull the trigger the second time will never come." The young boy learned a valuable lesson that day that would make him the hunter he came to be known for. If you don't pull the trigger the first time, out of fear, frustration, or whatever it may be, you just might not get the opportunity for a second shot. Regardless of the outcome, he learned keeping the desire that got him excited about hunting in the first place, and keeping the goal in his sights, he would soon be able to hit that target. You know, hunting is a lot like life. This is a .30-30 Winchester rifle, one of my favorite hunting rifles. We're going to look at it as we look at your life, your personality, your perspective. This is a beautiful crafted rifle and a piece of workmanship all the way down to the finest details. If used for what it was made to do, you can accomplish some incredible things. However, it is utterly useless if you do not use the trigger. The trigger is going to represent your mindset, your decision-making capability. The safety, that's going to be your fear. What is holding you back? The sights, that's going to be your focus. What are you focusing on in your life? If you get all those lined up and learn how to control the safety on your life, in return having no problem pulling the trigger and becoming successful. Now, the most important thing that people get hung up on is this safety mechanism, which is your fear of the outcome. At the same time, you cannot be afraid to fail. Failure is going to happen. It's going to come one way or the other. But that's how you learn. If you learn something from that failed opportunity and how to do it better next time, it's never really failing at all. It's progressing, learning how to do it better. Remember, all that fear is your emotional reaction to the unknown. You got to get past that voice in your head telling you to quit, because you're going to fail once in a while. However, it's all how you respond is what makes the difference, because you'll get better over time. You have to keep your sights in line to your target, reminding yourself what your life might be like once you do reach your goals. Keep those thoughts close and think of them often. Just like that young hunter. He failed the first few times, but he kept practicing. He kept getting out there, regardless of what the outcome might be. Also, from his first hunt, he understood the difference between whether he brings meat to put on the table or coming home empty-handed is whether he pulls the trigger or not. This rifle is well crafted, well made, but unless you pull the trigger on your life, it is utterly useless. Might as well just put it up on the mantle for all to look at. Of course, it's nice and shiny, but the gun is not being used for what it's meant to do, what it's made to do. Just for your life as well. Unless you pull the trigger on your life, you're not doing what you're created to do. Thank you for watching Coffee with Cable. If you like the show, please subscribe. And as you sip another cup of coffee, remember, don't let the fear of failure hold you back from pulling the trigger on your life, because you'll never regret it once you do. We'll see you next week.